We're going to talk about self-sabotaging thoughts. Do you have them? Do you want to get rid of them? How is it we can do some amazing and sometimes unexplainable things, like heal our own bodies by the power of our thoughts? Mother's intuition, the law of attraction. Can we really tap into our subconscious mind? Can we really create our own realities? It begs the question, are we novice gods? Okay, we are talking today about self-sabotaging thoughts. Now, if you joined me, I don't know, it was a few episodes ago, I confessed that I've really been using the law of attraction wrong. Even though I understand a big part of it, I haven't quite gotten my arms around the whole thing. And hopefully you can learn from my mistakes, right? You can do that, right? And have you ever known something and not applied it right? Okay. Well, the things that I discovered was that I was attracting I was living with fear, and because I had so much emotion tied to those fears, that is actually what I had manifested. And what it was is I was working on a project where I was hoping to make a connection with a large corporation, and I believed that if I did a certain thing, it would actually, that if I was true to myself and lived true to myself, it would actually wreck my ability to work with corporate America, and that's what manifested in my life. Super frustrated. So a few days later, after getting the big no, even on a meeting, I stumbled across a YouTube video that Neil Donald Walsh did, and in it he was talking about that the universe always says yes. And I thought, what does that mean? Because here I am, working to create this great stuff in my life, and maybe you're doing the same thing. You're here because you're working to manifest or consciously create some things in your life, and you're running into roadblocks and stumbling things, and it's taking longer than you want, and you're maybe caught in one of those invisible turnstiles where it seems like you're getting the same stuff over and over and over again. You know what I mean, right? You've experienced these things. Tell me I'm not alone here. Well, one of the things that I realized that in this invisible turnstile that I've been caught in is I've been asking the universe for something subconsciously, and the universe has been saying yes to it. And what I have been saying subconsciously is I need financial success to feel complete. Now, this is just kind of like deep in my core. I've had these feelings. I mean, I've done a lot of work, and anyway, if you've been following the show, if you checked into the pilot show, I was very vulnerable and explained about the many failures that I've had in launching things that can help other people. Very beautiful things, beautiful films, a wonderful app, a great book, and it hasn't worked out quite the way that I wanted. And I'm frustrated because part of me got really down on myself, thinking I must be the worst businessman in America, because here I am, I have a system for how people can consistently get happy on their own, without therapy, without medication, and I can't sell it to anybody. What am I doing wrong? So I'm focused on this failure, I'm focused on my lack of success, and I have found that with the universe always saying yes, what I'm really saying is I need financial success to feel complete. And the universe responds, yes you do. Here's more failure. Here's more of the turnstile. Here's more of the mess that you're in, because that's where my emotion is tied to. That's what I am experiencing over and over and over again. Does that make sense to you? Have you been caught in those kinds of turnstiles, receiving the same stuff over and over and over again? Well, I hope some of the things that I have learned in the last few days, that as I share those with you, that you can then apply those to your life and figure out how to make this work for you. So one of the things that I stumbled upon was this idea of learning to detach. Learning to detach yourself from the results. Like I had created this belief system that I needed, in order to feel complete, I needed to have financial success. And so my feelings of completeness were dependent on something that was outside of my control. And because those two things weren't meshing, there was this incongruence and I was a victim to my circumstances. Now, I know better than that. You know better than that, right? You know, our happiness comes from within. It doesn't come from something outside of ourselves. And when we take it inside and get that clarity and get that alignment, then we get things working right. But that's kind of where I was I had this belief system where it was outside of myself, and I needed this event to happen. I needed, this magical thing to come in and save me and change me and help me feel complete. Have you done that? Are you there right now? What do you need in your life in order to feel complete? What do you need in order to feel successful, to feel satisfied, to feel happy, to feel whole? Do you feel like you're not enough right now? You're not skinny enough, you're not smart enough, you're not eloquent enough, you're not successful enough, whatever your enough is. If you're feeling that way right now, what I'm learning is that we can actually change that. We can reverse engineer it and really start with where we want to end up. And what I'm learning is this comes through this learning to detach ourselves from the outcome. So here's what I found. Again, I don't know if this works yet. I'm applying it in my life. This is a documentary series, so you're seeing this unfold before you, and hopefully you are applying some of these things too and finding out what works. And really, hopefully you'll leave some comments in the notes below so that we can learn from what you are experiencing and from the things that you have found successful and how you are making progress in your life. So anyway, learning to detach is really letting yourself be separate from the outcome. So you make this request to the universe, you make this request to God, you want your life to unfold a certain way, but then you let that go and you say, this is what I'd like, or something better. This is what I'd like, or something better. And as you do that, you let God and the universe figure out what is going to be best for you. You've got this request out there, but maybe they've got something in mind that's even better than that. And rather than trying to force this thing that's going to come exactly the way you envisioned it, exactly the way you visualized it, exactly the way that, however you are doing your manifesting, that it comes across exactly that way. Rather than do that, you let go and you let them take care of the details. And you turn it over to them. So again, I haven't quite figured out how to do this. I recognize I need to detach. And the main thing that I need to detach is my feeling of wholeness, my feeling of completeness. So right now I'm working on how do I feel whole and complete without a dependency on some outside financial success or clients or whatever is going to prove to me that. I need to look now at what I have. What is it for you? What do you need to feel whole and complete? Can you have that now? Can you do things right now by changing your mindset? So one of the things that I have done that I came up with this morning is I am changing my identity. So getting a totally new identity. I'm going to have a mustache. I'm going to have long hair. Okay, none of that. Just having fun with you. But I'm changing how I identify myself. So often I will tell myself this repeating story. I'm the worst businessman in America. And in that there's like all this evidence, all this proof that shows that is absolutely true. Okay. I got to push that aside. I have to create this different identity and then find the evidences that that is true. So what I came up with today is rather than looking at the business side, I am looking at my fruit. And so I'm looking at myself, I am a tree, or I am like a tree. I'm a tree that produces fruit. And here is the fruit that I have created. I have created amazing, beautiful short films that help encourage people. I have created the Feed Your Happy app that helps gamify positive psychology. I've created a book. I've created an online course. I'm creating this series. I've created a purpose planner. All these things I'm looking at as my fruit. And so that's what I'm focusing on, as these are the things that will help me stop those self-sabotaging thoughts. These are the things that I'm going to focus on that will be my new identity. That as I focus on, am I complete? Am I whole? Well, am I producing fruit? Am I producing the kind of fruit that I would like to? If the answer is yes, I can feel complete. You can feel complete. What is it that you're missing? Can you look in your life? Can you make an analogy, a connection? Can you create an identity that shows you actually have everything within you right now? Now, if you think about a tree, when it sprouts up out of the ground, it's just really small. You know, it may be only this big. It's very tender. It could get crushed if a boot steps on it. But it has everything within it right now to be a full-grown, big, huge oak tree or apple tree or one of those giant redwoods of the forest. It has everything contained within it. It just needs time to grow and the nourishment there. That's what you are like. You are a God in embryo. You're a God in training. You have everything within you right now. And as long as you focus on an identity that will continue nurturing that, you can grow in the right way to where you can be more of your true self. I hope that makes sense to you. Again, this is a documentary series. I'm figuring stuff out as I go, and I'm sharing what I learn with you so that hopefully you can get there faster. You don't have to make the same mistakes, and you can be the full expression of yourself, because we need your gift. We need your voice. We need your light. We need you to stand up and be who you truly are. Hey friends, want to get rid of stress, anxiety, and worry? Ready to use some of your inner creation powers? Visit scottwilhite.com and join me for a web class. If you do it soon, I'll give you a free planner.